Udon, your host for today, and we have Jordan, Edwin, and Corey here. We're here to just compare and contrast Mario Kart World with the Sonic Racing Cross World since its open beta came out this weekend. I thought I thought it'd be a fun idea to talk about these two because I had my eye on Sonic Cross World since it was announced. Just because it looked interesting. Sonic has had a few like kart racers up until this point, but there was just something about this one that seemed more appealing to me than the other ones have. Uh, Everyone here has played the open beta, and after playing it, I'm like, I don't think it's like out to kill Mario Kart World. I really don't think that's the case, but I think there's something to be talked about in terms of like how enjoyable it is, at least on a personal basis. It's hard to objectively define these two because they're a little bit different from one another. But that's a topic for today. So I guess we'll open up with some opening thoughts about Cross Worlds in and of itself, since that's what we were playing mainly. How does everyone feel about it? Just in general, like, did you have fun with it? Was it frustrating? Was it too, like, do you feel like it was too busy or anything like that? Like just go ahead. Whoever wants to take the baton first, go ahead.
There's a large cast of characters. Characters have their own stats that kind of get paired with different car types. There's a pretty good amount of car types. I didn't get a chance to use any of the tickets that you unlock to get stuff, but as far as content goes for this like test, I think it's, well, one, the roster screen looks crazy huge, like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 huge. So the amount of people that they gave you for the demo isn't even like a fifth of how many characters are going to release. And I was kind of surprised at how many courses they let you try. It was like, oh, okay, this is a pretty solid demo. I thought, honestly, they were only going to give me like 3 tracks, and it was just going to be that over and over again.
Well, it's like there were like a lot of characters, but a lot of the somewhat the same as always, like main cast of characters, like the hero side, the dark side, and then some randoms here and there. I was just like, the only character I played the entire time was Jet, because I haven't played that character since the original Sonic Riders.
Well, I think
the courses for the Grand Prix, it was just like the same 3, and the only way you can go to, say, the other tracks is if you play online with everyone else, which is fine, considering that was the whole purpose of the beta test anyways, the online network.
Yeah, to be fair, it's called an open network test, not technically an open beta, so they have to entice you to try the online somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I liked the amount of customability that was removed from Sonic Worlds. You get to customize your cart from like the front half of the cart, the back half, and then the wheels, and then you can then put decal, the color, and all that. And then what I did not know about was the gadgets for like you can customize like your abilities for the rest of the race. Some of them are significant, some of them aren't. But that was like something that I had no idea was in the game. So that was a neat surprise. And I mean, that was pretty successful network beta test that I've seen, because there were no drop offs or like hardly any lag that could be noticed. But it definitely was significantly more chaotic racing game than Mario Kart.
What about you?
The crossplay aspect is cool. And I guess something we should do real quick is, I was playing on PS5, and I think Edwin was Switch 2.
I played on Xbox and Switch 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried it on the Series X. What about you, Jordan? What do you think of it?
I actually liked it. I only got to play the Grand Prix twice. I unfortunately stayed as the same character. I really like playing as Knuckles. That's always been my favorite character. Some people do want to play as the main character. I typically always pick Knuckles, and I was really wanting to try out Mecha Sonic, because that's definitely the one that I really enjoy. Since I couldn't have that, I just was happy enough that I was able to play with Knuckles. The level design was actually pretty intense. I did like that, you were able to jump over the waves, you were able to fly and do like boosts and stuff like that. It kind of kept things a lot more lively than maybe just as a regular going through those different motions, kind of like how they do in another game that we'll be talking about. But the fact that they had and drop where it would basically just like create like this warp hole and it would take you to another place, like a different map. That was actually really cool because that definitely like made things constantly staying fresh versus you kind of already understand the outlaying of the map, so it kind of like keeps you on your toes. The graphics of it too was actually very, very well detailed too. I actually liked that, and the fact that all of the different vehicles were way more different than the others. You know, you got your little bit of your go karts and stuff like that. It's like you've seen these giant monster truck things driving around too. That was awesome, and I also enjoyed the moves that they had to offer. They were definitely a lot more. It was more of a breath of fresh air to see instead of green shells and all that crap. I'm actually seeing something way different, and I really like that. Also, it was a very good thing to see a bunch of change rather than constantly seeing the things of like what Mario was always about. It's like now I'm seeing a different world of how this could play off. And then in like how it was said, it's probably not a actual battle to take the reins from Mario Kart, but it definitely was seeming like they were trying to definitely impress you with this sort of style that they had, and it looked like they got a little bit from Mario Kart, but they incorporated their own style for Sonic, and I was actually quite impressed with it. So I pretty much had nothing but good things to say about that. And it's only a network test, so I haven't even participated in the full game experience, just this right now, and it's already good to what I can by what I experienced, anyways.
Yeah, so yeah, one of Sonic's strengths, at least in my opinion, is its character roster is a lot stronger than Mario's is, at least in terms of personality. You get a lot more attached to the characters because they actually have, well, not to say Mario's characters don't have characters, but they're just so much more stronger on Sonic's side of things. I think Sonic has had 2 other kart racers up to this point, and they just look too realistic for me. And maybe, and even as a kid, you know, you're like, oh, they're just trying to copy Mario Kart. I'm just gonna play Mario Kart. But this one, I don't know, it really like stuck to the Sonic art style. It wasn't trying to be like super realistic or anything. It, like all the carts look appropriately, you know, like fucking weird. Some of them look a bit more car-like than others, but as you said, like Omega gets a fucking tank, which already I was like, yes, I can play as Omega. I am set. But but yeah, when it comes to the characters too, I mean, not only that, when you think of Mario Kart World, if we take out like all the costumes and just leave it as the characters, right? Like more than half of the roster is like these whatever fucking like enemy characters that you find in like any Mario game that you just step on and move away from. Whereas like Sonic Cross Worlds, it has like almost everyone from Sonic's universe out, you know, aside from probably really niche characters like Mighty or something like that. But not only that, they've already announced that they're having like third party in quotation. Well, no, some of them are third party. But point being, they have Sonic characters. They're going to get Joker from Persona. They're going to put in Hatsune Miku. They're going to have SpongeBob and Patrick for some reason. They're going to have Minecraft Steve and Alex. Like, they're having all sorts of crazy fucking characters come in.
Forget Pac-Man, but I also looked Pac-Man. At the roster, and there's still 18 characters yet to be revealed, because they also have Yakuza characters.
Yeah, that's right. The Yakuza, like a dragon guy, is going to be in there. Yep. And the thing is, those work, though, because I think Yakuza, Miku, and Persona, I think Sega's the publisher for all of them, because there's tons of Persona shit in all of Sega's stuff. But anyways, so the character side of it is already way more interesting, because like when it comes to Mario, it's like I just want to play as fucking Rosalina, maybe Peach, maybe Daisy, and I'm feeling crazy that day, maybe Bowser. But it's like Sonic, I'm like, yes, I love Omega, but I also liked playing as Amy, I liked playing as Shadow. I couldn't play as Rouge, and Miku isn't in the game yet, so I was like, but I have like so many characters I want to play as, I just don't play as Rosalina the entire time. The card customization, I'm like whatever on, because I've said it when we were talking about Mario Kart World, like I don't really care for the customization. That just adds like a layer of complexity I don't really care about, but it's neat that it's there for whoever wants it. I like the gadgets because it just lets you do crazy shit. Like you can just start with a double boost, you can start with the monster truck item, like you just start the race with an item, or like you can do stuff like hitting other racers gives you a boost instead of like slows you down. It actually speeds you up. Like it gives you all sorts of like really fun, crazy passes you can play with. And me and Edwin were talking about this, and Edwin was concerned that it might, you know, develop a meta when it comes to online. And I'm like, well, first of all, I don't care about online. When I get this game, I'm just gonna be playing it single player. But the thing is, metas develop no matter what you do, and I'd rather them just add a bunch of crazy overpowered shit just to play with that's fun than just like trying to tweak everything to make everything. Because the thing is that like those on top of the items seem to be a lot more fun to me. And I think an important part about this discussion is that everyone except for Jordan, who unfortunately doesn't have a Switch 2 in World, we played Sonic and then immediately played some Mario Kart World to like see how we feel about both of them. So yeah, the character side of things is fun, and how the racing works. What the Cross Worlds is that, at least in the Grand Prix, each race it's a selection of 3 races. Your first lap will be on whatever course you start in, but then the second lap will transition into a different map to you the second lap in, and then the third lap's back on the first area. And then the third race of the entire Grand Prix is 1 lap of each of the stages you were in previously. Which I think is fun, and the stages are a lot more akin to old Mario Kart because they're all, they're smaller. There's a lot of turns and like little shortcuts you can do if you have items and shit like that. I find that really fun. Now here's something. Jordan kind of said something about it earlier, which I wanted to expound on. I want to see everyone else's opinion on it. Items. So this game has a bunch. I don't know if these items are supposed to be themed off of something Sega related or if they just made them up just for this game. I don't think it really matters. But how I feel about the items in this game is that I feel that they're a lot more fun and varied. Because even when you're in second or first place, you're actually getting a pretty wide variety of items to use still, instead of just, well, I'm in first place. I guess I hope I like bananas because that's all I'm going to be getting forever.
Or coins, yeah.
Yeah, bananas or coins, so much fun. But how does everyone feel about like the items and how they work?
That was actually the first thing I noticed when I was playing through. I was like, oh wow, the item diversity, it pretty much is universal across whatever position you're in. Also, there's a lot more offensive items rather than like straight. There was like a couple I didn't really understand. Like they do have a ghost where it steals your shit or whatever that portal was, but I don't even know what the portal did because sometimes it would smash me into like a flat pancake or whatever. And sometimes there's just so much shit going on that it's like I don't know what hit me, but I know something hit me. They have the magnet. They have the spike ball that you just kind of drop, and then the weird bomb that's a countdown that you have to get rid of it, otherwise it's going to blow up on you.
No, actually, let's see, I misinterpreted that too. So I thought that was that, like, I thought it was going to blow up, but what it does actually, the bomb actually has to charge up to 3 stages to get bigger and better. And once it hits stage 3, you can just hold it. Like, it's not going to blow up. What it's counting down is actually it powering up. So it's an item that you're supposed to hold for a little while for it to be really, really good. Yeah, I thought the same thing too.
Well, I mean, that's kind of, that kind of sucks then. I mean, I guess if I would have known that off the bat, because I would always be like, oh shit, and then get rid of it. But, I liked being the monster truck, which is the equivalent of the bullet bill.
Or mega, it's more like
weird.
The mega mushroom, I think. Because they have a bullet bill item. You get one of the spikes from Sonic Colors or something that like zips you a couple places forward.
The drill.
Yeah, they have a drill item that kind of shoots up through the targets, which that also reminds me of the bullet bill. There's a lot of items that like really just kind of push you forward. And something that I noticed is that you can be in first and last and first and last and first like really quick in like one single lap, and that was kind of fun. And normally, I don't really go for alternative Mario Kart games. I know there's plenty of them that exist. I mean, Nickelodeon has one. There's Crash Team Racing, which I'm not necessarily a fan of. I know that there's a lot of people that like that game, but I don't know, something about that game just doesn't. I'm not a big fan of it. There's the Chocobo Racing one. There's a lot of other combat racing games, but this one does feel. It kind of like captures what like Mario Kart's essence is when it comes to like pole position and the rubber banding, because I was always curious of like what the hell are they going to do to the person who's in the back of this. Where's the lightning bolt or whatever the blue shell might be, and then the blue shell apparently is this giant vortex of shit or whatever.
Well, I think the blue shell is the ghost, like the big ghost from Sonic.
King Boom Boom.
Yeah, he comes, but I think his is more fun because it's a blue shell for the person in front, but unlike Mario Kart where the blue shell, yes, the blue shell can hit other people if you're crafty about it, but it's generally not going to happen because if people see you're about to get hit with a blue shell, they're going to fucking avoid your ass. Like the King Boom Boom or whatever, he'll go to the first place, but then he summons like giant fire columns that hit the first place guy, but then goes into a line behind him, so it can actually hit a lot of people if you don't avoid him, which I think is fun.
Yeah. I also like their like Mario Kart has a gold shell that you throw forward and it leaves coins, but I much prefer the Chow that literally is following a path in front of me so that I get the damn things that they drop instead of it just being like, well, you threw it in the sand, so go in the sand and get the coins. It's like, well, the Chow is just going to give me coins and that's fine, or rings, I guess. Um, and so like the passive abilities and the gadgets thing is really neat. I do like the gadgets. I know that a meta is going to develop because of certain things, like charging your drift is like faster and things like that. But I do also like that aspect of the game because you don't know what you're about to race against, which is kind of cool because it's not like overtly on the outside of the car. You might see a character and then like a customization of their vehicle, but you don't know what they're rolling with either. So they might, 3, 2, 1, and then a monster truck's driving over your ass.
That's my favorite. I was using that when me and Edwin were playing because I'm in last place, but you could look behind you and see Omega like holding the monster truck, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. One thing I will say that I kind of don't like about the way items work is in Mario Kart they have the double stack item, and they have the double stack item in Sonic as well, but if you hit 2 singles, it does not count as getting 2 items in Sonic. But if you do that in Mario Kart, because you somehow managed to get between 2 boxes, you'd still get 2 items. And I would just be like, why didn't I get that other one?
That was not working for me. That didn't work for me in either game, so I was wondering what you guys were talking about when you both said that.
Yeah, it's like I couldn't like stack items if I drifted properly between 2 boxes. Also, something else I do appreciate in Sonic is that the item is loaded. Like, it's ready to go instead of you having to initiate it and hold the button. So that's kind of cool.
Well, you also said that when you were playing Mario Kart, is that in Mario Kart, it actually has it ready behind you, so it protects you. But for Sonic Cross Worlds, you have to actually use the item for it to defend you. Like, you have to throw it behind you while you're being targeted.
Yeah.
Or throw it in front of you to destroy something. Like, it doesn't hang around you. It just stays in your hand, not on your cart.
Like, Sonic feels more active during the entire race.
Well, I feel like I have more agency because of that.
Yeah.
Because the items do more, like, in first place, I can still get these rocket fists, which are like their equivalent to shells and stuff, and like the bombs and whatever. But like it's like I have so many different items I can use instead of being in first place in Mario, where I either have like a banana or a coin, and like God help me unless I have a mushroom or like the boombox, which being in first place you have a really low chance of getting anyways. Like if a blue shell comes my way and I don't have one of those items, it's like, well, I guess I'm just fucked. Or if I get hit by the lightning bolt, which I literally can't do anything about, like I just lose all my items and I'm just fucked. Whereas when this, their blue shell equivalent isn't so bad, and I think that I'll save more in depth when I want to compare it directly. But I felt like getting hit with items in this game didn't feel nearly as bad as getting hit with Mario Kart.
Because not,
because like when I was no, go ahead.
I was gonna say the one thing that I really did enjoy about the items itself was that when you got hit with them, it still felt like you were still moving with momentum. You were actually still moving forward rather than. You get hit with the shell or anything in Super Mario, you stop, you do like a fucking triple flip, backflip, and you're just like bouncing around, waiting to get yourself ready to go, and you're just getting really pissed off. This one, when I was driving and I had gotten smashed and I got turned to that piece of paper and I'm like, around, I'm still moving forward. I'm just going at a little bit of a slower pace. So it's like I'm still actually able to continue going rather than I'm completely stopped and it just does not feel good. So you kind of still got that feeling like you still have a chance of winning, even though when you got hit, it does, in fact, slow you a bit, but it doesn't completely stop you from being able to move forward, which, like I said, I did not like that at all in the Mario series. Every time something happened, like talking about the lightning bolt or whatever hitting you, you have no control over it, and it just slows you way down, or you get hit with a blue shell, and you stop for maybe 5-6 seconds. It's been taken away from you, and it's really annoying. So like you have the ability to consistently keep getting good items even when you're in first place that you could basically be using as a defense against the offense. But like I said, just being hit in the game doesn't feel as much as a punishment as it was in Mario Kart, which is what I thought was actually fair for a lot of people that maybe are just in the brink of they're in the bad moment at the wrong time, where they're in between two sides of people that are just loaded with good items, and you're just in the middle taking all the fray, and you're constantly getting hit. It sucks to be like, you're right there, and now all of a sudden you're in the back because you were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
The dogpiling in Mario Kart can get pretty steep, where I don't ever feel like I was dogpiled on in Sonic. There'd be times where I was driving and I'm just like, what the hell is happening right now? There's like 900 things going on. But there are times in Mario Kart where you're in first and you get hit by fucking everything, and then everybody drives past you and you're like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, and you keep getting and that's what's even more stupid.
But
coming back is so much harder.
They are channeling the gotta go fast mentality for this, though, because like Sonic is all about forward momentum, and so everything, the items are inconveniences rather than like hazards, I guess. But you're always moving. Like there's booster things on the ground to keep hitting and keep going forward, and so there's like a lot of it's a lot of stuff that's happening while you're constantly like moving and like really quick, which is kind of nice.
Well, here, like the how I described it to Edwin, and funnily enough, because I showed this to my friend Tim, who came over the other day to finish Silent Hill with, because he's a big Sonic fan, and I was just showing him the game. He said the same exact thing without any prompting, is that we both agreed that this game, the Sonic Racing, plays like a arcade cabinet racer rather than like a console racer. Like honestly, I was kind of having like Hydro Thunder flashbacks playing this game, because they want to keep you like super engaged at all times. Even for anyone at home who's actually played the Mario Kart like arcade racer, it's way more chaotic than Mario Kart World, or pretty much almost any other Mario Kart is, because that's the whole point of an arcade racer. You're there for a short time, so they need to keep you engaged. This has a lot of the same things, where there's like tons of booster pads. When you get hit by items, because I feel like I have been dogpiled in this game. But when I get dogpiled, it's not like, oh, fuck, well, I'm just screwed now. It's like, well, no, I'll just hit, because I feel like this game gives you items a lot more often than Mario does, too.
Yeah.
Like, you just like, every around the corner, there's an item box, there's an item box, there's an item box. So it's like, even if I got shit on, I'm like, oh, no, I still have a chance to come back, even if this is, like, the last lap or whatever. Like, only if you get really screwed, like, during, like, the home stretch is when you're probably done. But, like, any other time, all the items are, like, so good that you can come back, like, fairly easily. And I also thought that getting hit with items isn't so bad, because I said earlier, when you get hit by a lightning bolt in Mario Kart, you lose any items you're carrying. In this game, the lightning bolt's equivalent is like a fucking Looney Tunes ass fucking like 2-ton weight that gets dropped on your head that turns you into a pancake. But you only drop one item. You don't drop both. You get to keep one, which I'm like, that feels good. So now I still have something on backup if I need it, you know? Like I don't mind being punished that way, but even then it's like several other things. Like you can get the firestorm thing that protects you. There's just a straight up shield item, which whole purpose is to protect you. You have like almost every item can collide with another item. Even their green shell equivalent feels better to use. They have like a green rocket fist and a red rocket fist. The red rocket fist is literally just a red shell, but the green rocket fist is a green shell, yes. But the added benefit is that if you are behind someone and you get like this targeting reticule, it will lock onto them, but you have to kind of aim it, and if you throw it while it's locked on, it will home in on the person, which is nice, because I fucking hate green shells in Mario Kart, because honestly to God, they feel fucking useless, especially in worlds where like the distance between racers is so vast that like if I hit them, it's just dumb luck. Like, I'm just like, oh, you're in fourth place, here's a green shell, little Timmy. It's like, oh, great, thanks, Mom. I guess I'll just kill myself. I don't know what to do. But that's the other issue, right? Is that like, fuck it, I guess we're freeballing it now. But like going back to playing Mario Kart World, it has really. I was already kind of on the fence about like I guess the community has dubbed them the intermission courses, where you're driving between racetracks in Grand Prix. because how it works in Mario Kart World, for anyone who doesn't know, you have, I think it's 4 race tracks. Your first race, you go through. It's your first race is like any regular Mario Kart level. You have a track and you go through it 3 laps. Boom, you're done. But then every time after that, you drive from that course to the next course, so that the area between is part of the course. And then when you get to the you get to the other course, you only do 1 lap of it, then you're done. And then you rinse repeat that for the rest of the Grand Prix. Now, the problem with these like intermission courses is that they're really long and straight. There is really not a lot of turning and drifting, which used to be like Mario Kart's bread and butter, which to me has led to a like relaxed, not really relaxed, but just like it's not as chaotic. I don't know. It's just there's something about it that's just like boring, because it's just like a lot of like quiet spaces. Like I'll be in first and then I just get jump scared by a lightning bolt or a blue shell or something. Otherwise, nothing is happening. And it's really, and especially when someone gets in front of you, it's like, well, unless I get a red shell or someone fucks them up with a lightning bolt or whatever, I'm just fucked, because like I have to rely on them fucking up or me getting a red shell, because there's no other way I'm going to catch up to them. And with Sonic Racing's solution to that is giving you more items, and there's just so many more offensive items that lets you catch up to people. And even using, and I understand that a lot of people are getting good at Mario Kart. Like I've seen the super technical videos of people doing the wall riding through like half the courses and shit. To me, it's almost like, I feel like Mario Kart's almost becoming the more hardcore of the two as racers go, because like Sonic's clearly like it's just more fun for the casual player, whereas like Mario Kart World, it seems that like you have to get good in order to like really get the most out of the game, which is not what I want from a silly kart racer. I just want to like I want it to be like a party game, but it's racing, you know. And I don't know, getting hit by items doesn't feel like shit. It's just more exciting because I like all the drifting and the speed, like especially during the last course where like, similar to Mario, Corey was talking about earlier, you get rings, you know, it's Sonic, you're going to get rings. And when you hit 100 rings, that's like your top speed, similar to how Mario Kart's is you get like 20 coins and you hit top speed, like your amount of coinage depends on, like, determines your speed. But again, Sonic's hits that like dopamine of just like ring, 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 ring. Like you just hear that ring sound, you're collecting rings, and you're like, yay, rings! And again, you can even get a gadget that every time you collect a ring, you get a boost. And that's kind of nuts if you're hitting like these lines of rings. It's just like one long boost pad for you. Whereas Mario, it's like coin, 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 because there's not a bunch of coins in a row. They're all like really spread out throughout the entire map. So it's like, no, I want dopamine brain. Give me the ringy dingy sound. It's like that's more fun.
Yeah, there are definitely like environmental differences. Like Sonic also has like environmental hazards that you have to dodge, but it's those environmental hazards are much more prevalent and wider in Mario Kart World, because that's kind of like the whole idea of it. But it's like when you're in first place, your main obstacle is either the person behind you or the vast area of environmental hazards, which is probably why there's like hardly any item boxes, because you're already dodging all that crap. Meanwhile, Sonic is just like everything is a problem for you, no matter what place you're at. But also in Sonic, the Sonic tracks are not always the same, because you do have a choice of those wormhole rings, which I'm assuming they took from the Sonic movie, where they use like giant rings to teleport you. But it could either be a course that you're familiar with, or just a completely random one, which is kind of like a little bit of the intermission thing, but it doesn't last nearly as long. It's more satisfying.
Like, yeah, I can see the little bit of a parallel, but again, the problem with the intermission is like, you know, it's long straight course to this next section, whereas like the cross world thing is like essentially what you're doing is just taking a lap on one course, taking a lap on another course, which is still, you know, full of turns and hazards, and then taking a lap back on the last course. You know, it's still all a course, not just like this long, slightly curving road, you know?
Yeah, and I noticed that like those long stretches of roads is just you literally like just watching your position like slowly slip away, because there's no turns, there's no hazards, there's no items. So it's like you're literally just watching your first place reach the finish line, because there's literally nothing to deter them from slowing down or getting hit by anything. So you're just watching you yourself lose the race during that long stretch of road.
Yeah, and so and like it's because it's like wow, this feels like Mario Kart 8 because I played the shit out of Mario Kart 8 before Worlds came out, and when I do want
Oh
them to
yeah.
just go back to them just being on courses, because it's like the fun thing about the courses is that when you do learn them, you do learn those shortcuts and how you can take them and stuff like that. Whereas the intermission courses don't even really give you like chances to, or if they do, it's usually some kind of like really technical thing that you have to do. Like I said, it's almost like the get good Mario Kart game. It's like, yeah, it's fun if you're like fucking crack brained at it and can pull off all this like high tech shit. And I was like, no, man, I just want to drive. Yeah, it's
Maybe they will go back to their original formula after this, and they just kind of had that open world aspect burning a hole in their pocket because it was, I guess, innovative to do a kart racer slash open world game. But again, I don't really interact with the open world part, anyways. I only ever just want to jump into a racetrack and play it. Something too about the Sonic game with the transitioning between tracks, the person in first is the one who decides where you're going, and I think that's kind of interesting because the other advantage to you being in first place is picking a course that you want to race on. When you're online, they give you the presentation of like 5 or 4 courses or something, and everybody's randomly voting, and then whoever gets the most, and you don't know you don't know where the like it's leaning. You just pick the one you want, and then based on selections, a course is chosen, and you go race it. But when whoever's in first place, it presents them with the 2 options, and they have to turn their car to which gate they want to go to, and then it changes. And then you obviously have the random one where it's a giant question mark, and you don't know where it's going to go. But the nice part is if you're winning the race, you kind of get the option to keep playing to your advantage by choosing a level that you enjoy if it is one of the options that do pop up.
what's also fun about that interaction is that if you're like neck and neck with someone and either one of you picks either side, it will just merge them both together and just make it random. So it's not always the person who's directly in front. It's whoever it's if you hit that like the little pad that chooses the course at the same time as the other person, which I think is interesting.
It just gives the player constant agency, I guess, of like you get to choose the course, which is going to turn into where are all the items at, getting all the rings, watch out for all this shit on the thing. There's like a bunch of people in this race, so there's somebody behind you and someone right on your side. It's kind of fun. It honestly, it reminds me of playing Diddy Kong Racing because of all the other games that are the Mario Kart clones, Diddy Kong Racing was really fun to me. I loved playing that game because you had the hovercraft and the jet and the items powered up. So if you had a missile and you collected another missile, it makes it an even stronger missile. So, and I don't think there's any other game that replicates that mechanic. But
It doesn't do that in the game how you're describing it, but you can't. Again, going back to the gadgets, you can get like a gadget that makes the red rocket fist bigger, bigger and more powerful just for you, and it'll appear more often. So it's kind of similar, I guess.
Yeah, so that's kind of where it's like this is the Diddy Kong Racing of, I guess, modern kart racers. And the fun part is me and Edwin were playing together on different consoles and stuff. And I know that the funny part is they said it was cross-play, and they kind of made a jab at Nintendo for locking everybody out of Mario Kart unless you have it, which is going to happen because it's a Mario property. But it's just like, well, everybody can play this game together. And sure enough, we were.
And I will say this though, I did try it on my Switch too, and I love my Switch too, but it's a little rough. It played fine enough, but they definitely had to downgrade a lot of like the graphic fidelity in order for it to get to run on the Switch too, compared to like the Series X. So that was
still fun. Yeah, I still played it a little bit longer on the Switch because my Xbox wasn't around. I was like, well, might as well test it on another console, so I just played it for like a few hours on the Switch more than the console. Like, it plays fine, and the load times are fine, but the graphics themselves are a little rough. A little pixelated around the edges and stuff like that, so you can definitely tell the downgrade.
Yeah, it runs better than Fortnite on it.
True.
Given the, and I haven't seen Fortnite run on a Switch 2 yet, but given the connection times, I think this game is going to do pretty well because I would find a match quick. There was a lot of people playing this.
That and it didn't feel laggy. Like when me and Edwin were playing online, I didn't
Oh
feel like
yeah,
there was any like rubber banding or connection issues. Like it felt like really seamless.
yeah. I didn't have any. I don't think I had any issues. I felt like a couple things were off, but it, for the most part, it was pretty responsive. And I think maybe it was. Oh no, okay. I was like, what the hell? I feel like my cart is disconnecting or something. But we were on an ice track, so it was just the physics of the ice road were fucking with my driving, and I didn't even think about that, when I was playing through it.
And the
Also, fuck whatever that stupid level is, the like Greek place that has that funnel where it pushes everybody into basically
the
a fucking
Sonic Unleashed
hallway with
level.
stairs. Yeah,
Anyway.
I hate that level.
I thought
so
it was. I mean, it's
much.
neat because it's like you don't really see that in kart racers, but there's also a reason you don't see that in kart racers.
That's funny
yeah.
though. Monster truck in that tiny little alleyway.
Or the big bomb rolling.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that's the fun part. You're like, oh my god, I could fuck everybody up right now. It's just like here
Yeah.
it comes.
I mean, well, the longest time I was like, "Can we do them all? Can we please?" I kept picking it, and then finally we get them all. I was like, "Hell yeah!" Because like I want to do that one. Like one of my favorite levels in Mario Kart 8, I think, is the airport.
Mhm.
It's like I just like those kinds of levels, and I wanted to do like the mall and stuff, and it was just everybody kept picking that damn Greek level. It's like I'm tired of the funnel of death.
But the other thing too is that so kind of like Mario Kart and Sonic Racing, you drive on your cart, but we also have flying segments and water segments where your cart turns into a plane, turns into a boat. Again, Mario Kart World apparently like it's actually like not really beneficial. Like airtime, terrible. Like you don't really want to like be in the air at all. Where like in this game, they have a mechanic when you're on the boat section, you can actually charge your drift and then like get airtime and do tricks, which seems to be beneficial. And then when you're in the air, you have a lot of boost rings, but what's neat about them is that you'll see that there's like a blue center of the boost ring, and if you hit the center of the boost ring, you actually get a bigger boost than just hitting the boost ring in general. So it adds a bit more, and you can quote unquote drift in your aerial form, which means you just turn tighter or drift up
Yeah.
and down sharper. But again, it just feels like it adds more like engagement for the player at all times during the race rather than Mario Kart World where you just have segments of just practically nothing where you're just driving and you don't have a lot of like you feel like you don't have any input at all other than I just don't run into shit, you dumbass.
Yeah.
Also,
Something with that long transition road as well is like those are designed for you to drive over to that quick stop with whoever you're playing as and grab the bag of food so you can get a character. And if you miss that, then you're just mad the entire time you're driving to the next place. It's like, damn it, I got hit by some stupid ass shell and someone else grabbed it. I didn't get my McDonald's on the road trip, and now I'm pissed. So,
yeah, there is also a high sense of unpredictability for Sonic Cross World because there is like a random segment during the race that happened once while I was playing with Udon and then once while I was playing with Corey, or I think when I was playing by myself. It's the frenzy mode that happens on a random lap during the course, but I thought it was going to be the same thing, but apparently there's multiple things that can happen because the first time it was your drift charge boost like charges up super fast, and then the second time that it happened was every single racer got a boost with wisp, which is just like an equivalent to a mushroom, but it was rechargeable. So you would use it once and it would have a countdown and then you can use it again and it would just keep going and going and going until the frenzy ran out. So there's like more things that can happen randomly to predict to make the winner unpredictable to win.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I like the random events that come in because they're chaotic and you can't kind of plan for them. And some people, try hard like players might be like, can I turn that option off? Like play me Final Destination no items, and it's like I want to play with the items in Smash Brothers, right? Because I like all the like bullshit of what the hell's coming down. Obviously, it depends on how you're wanting to play it, but with this game, and you get like a random event that takes place, and like everybody's got a boost, and it's like, oh shit, and then all the players are just going crazy. And when you're playing it online, because you're not playing against NPCs, so you're just everybody's going crazy, and you're just kind of it amps up the fun. So
Well, that's what I'm
I do like that part.
saying is that like I feel like it feels like every competitive multiplayer game that comes out has to be some kind of like super sweaty hardcore shit. But I was telling Edwin, I'm like, it feels like the design philosophy they're going with, which is the design philosophy I like when it comes to PvP stuff, is if everything's broken, nothing's broken. Because if everything's broken, it just means everything's fun to use. That's why I like Titanfall 2 so much. There was like very little equipment or Titans or anything in that game that was like not viable. Like you could use everything and everything was really good. And if people, if hardcore people don't want that, that's fine. There's games for that. I just feel like too many games are catering to that more often than not. Because even like right now, they're having, I think this is like the last day of the beta because I think it goes offline tomorrow. They're having like, I guess, a festival mode. So all the online stuff, like every hour or two, it changes. Like it's basically kind of like it's like a special mode where like they have special rules for every single race. It's almost like frenzy mode every race, but with different rule sets that changes like every hour or something like that. So it's like it really seems like they're going for just like I said, an arcadey fun feel with this rather than Mario Kart. Almost felt like it was made for more like somehow more casual and somehow more sweaty people all at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know how you managed to pull that off, but another thing I wanted to say was when it comes to going back to the characters, a thing that I find really fun because I love characters, I love interactions. So if anyone who's ever played a Mario Kart game, especially on the higher CC difficulties, you kind of know that when you're doing that, you're not really racing 12 other people. You're really racing that one NPC who's like a cracked compared to the rest of them. So like there's always that one NPC that's like on your ass the entire time during the Grand Prix that's basically just you and that racing that other person. Which is that is a design like that is designed into Mario Kart. Like that is a thing that is like actually hard programmed. There's like one computer that's like selected as like the quote unquote rival character that will dog the player. Point being is that in Cross Worlds they kind of took that concept but just made it a genuine like open game mechanic. So like when you do a Grand Prix, yes, there's like 12 racers in Sonic, which also helps in Sonic. I think we're only at 12 racers, not 24 compared to Mario Kart World. So they're somehow, even though it feels more chaotic, it's not because there's not as many people throwing shit. But not to lose my point. So whenever you pick a Grand Prix, one of the characters will be selected as your rival character, and that's that character. That character is going to be slightly better than all the other NPCs, and that's basically who you're racing against throughout the entire Grand Prix. And what I always thought was fun is that at the beginning of the Grand Prix, the characters will have like voice lines they say to each other. There's a lot of that again to bolster the character stuff. There's a lot of voiced lines in this, which I find is really fun. And it's always just really fun watching their interactions because it's not the same interaction every time, even if you get the same two characters interacting. Because it's like because I like playing as Omega, and one of the times I got Sonic as my rival, so you both spawn into the Grand Prix, and Sonic's like, "So destroy the competition is just a turn of phrase, right? Right?" And Omega's just like, it's like. I do not confirm. I will win, and then I will inform your next of kin. So it's like I'm like, oh my god, it's hilarious. I thought it was hilarious.
I had that purple bird chick or
Wave.
whatever. She was just a super cunt.
Yeah.
As all the Babylonians are.
I thought so. Well, like Amy had a fun one when she rivals against Storm, I think, the big gray Babylonian, because she's just like, would you quit staring at me? Blink, you're freaking me out. He's like, sorry, we'll race now.
Yeah, I had like little Cream and Cream the Rabbit as my rival, and I was playing as Jet, and then Cream was just like all like sweet and innocent, and then meanwhile Jet is just an egotistical asshole towards her.
Yeah. I feel like all the Babylonian rogues are just kind of dickheads.
Yeah, they are. Even since when they were introduced, it was like, oh, they're assholes, but they look cool.
Yeah, it's like, well, at least they look cool.
It does make it for a neat mechanic, though. It kind of reminds me of like Mario Strikers or something when they walk out onto the field and do their thing. Because they don't do any of those things in Mario Kart, but like in some of the other sport Mario games, they have like character quirks whenever they are interacting or being like welcome to the field or something like that. So having that rival mechanic was cool.
it reminded me of a game as well, but obviously they didn't have as much into detail as they did with this game. But it reminded me of SSX Tricky, because like when you're doing you'll have rivals in the actual game when you're snowboarding, and you'll have some back talk that they do to each other, and then while they're snowboarding stuff, you're going to actually have them bad talking each other while they're doing it, and depending upon if they are your rival or not, they'll be more prone to attack you than the other people will, so you have to be wary of them. And I don't know if the same thing that applies with this one, but it was cool that when I played as Knuckles, I think it was Omega that I had quarrels with that would just constantly try to mess with me, or we'd be talking back and forth, and it was kind of cool because it kind of livened things up rather than you're just being a constant just racing game. You're shooting things, you're having some conversation happening in the middle of it, keeping things on. It's like making things a lot more intense, a little bit more fun than it once was, just doing your normal driving. So it kind of livened things up. I actually enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of shit
storytelling.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit of shit talking, right? Because every time you pass your rival character, they have something to say. When they pass you, they have something to say. When you hit them, they have something to say. Yeah, one of my favorites is I think I was playing as Amy, and Omega ended up being my rival. And when you're ahead of him and you pick a course, he just crimes, just like, your choice stinks. You're just like, he's just a salty bitch. I just find it really funny. Even when Omega loses, I think it was one of the funnier ones. He was just like, graceful _ loss .exe file not found. So it's just really fun. Again, character interactions. And again, it's not like I'm asking to add that to Mario Kart, because it'd be really weird if Mario characters just started saying shit like fully voiced dialogue all of a sudden. But it just change the dynamic from, like, you play as like literally any character in Mario Kart, and the girls will say some stuff, but Mario and Luigi is going babada boopy, and Mario and Luigi are doing their shit. It's all just kind of noises they're making. When Rosalina and shit wins, they'll be like, "Oh, I won." That's about as much as they're gonna get.
Yeah, the Mario characters are more like Pokemon in that aspect, where it's like, this is the sound line they say.
Exactly, and then all the NPC enemies, I don't think they even say anything. They might have like a grunt maybe, but.
Yeah, the Crossworld is like more lively.
Yeah.
My question.
Good.
Sorry. My question is that I don't. Did you all play like in a big scale where like it was you, Udon, Edwin, and Corey? Were you like all playing together in one game together?
No, me and Edwin played. No, me and Edwin played together, and then I think Corey and Edwin played together. I don't think we were all in the same thing. No. No, it was fun.
My only question I was going to have for that is how we had that hilarious episode where we were talking about Sonic Adventures where they had that bleed over conversations happening. My only thing is what happens if you guys had rivals that were all on the same map together and you're all in one group? Would you think there might be like a bleed over of just like, you're
when you play online, there's no rival mechanic. The rival mechanic is only for single player, so there's no like constant talking. Gotcha. But even then, well, first of all, the multiplayer is really fun. I don't think I had that much fun playing a weird multiplayer game with someone in a while, because me and Edwin were just talking shit back and forth to each other, especially when we're trying to fuck each other over at the last end race. But another point is that so another small point overall, but it's a big point for me. I like the tricks in Mario Kart ever since they introduced them, where it's like you hit a ramp or literally any air that you can manage, and you hit a button and your character will do a trick, and when you land you get a boost. Really fun mechanic, and I like the tricks, and Mario Kart World still has that. But number one, like I said earlier, technically speaking, you don't want airtime in Mario Kart. You want to be on the ground as much as possible. But even then, when you're in Mario Kart, when you do have airtime, you only need to do one trick and you just get a boost. But you can hit the button as many times as you want to, and which is fun, but you only get the one boost out of it. But Crossworlds has the same mechanic where if you have airtime and you flick the control stick, which I think the control scheme is a bit weird, but you flick the control stick and do a trick, if it can stack up to 3 times for the maximum boost. You just don't do one trick, so doing multiple tricks in the air is actually advantageous. Which I again think is really fun because it means doing more tricks is beneficial. But even then, in Mario Kart, when they're doing the tricks, they just go, wah, roar, whatever. The girls go, wee. but like in Sonic Cross Worlds, like they have more life to them. So and this is also a little bit of a detriment to the game. So again, example Omega, when he does aerials, he'll have a voice line for each part of the aerial, and also basically indicating whether or not you got the 3 boost off. So when you do tricks, he goes aerial maneuver successful, and then but he'll say each line for each trick he does, and when he hits successful, that's you've done all 3, and you're gonna get the max boost when he hits the ground. The detriment to that is if you hit a bunch of small bumps and you only get the 1 trick, because he'll just keep going aerial, 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 aerial. I'm just like, okay, you guys could have recorded a few different lines. Because Amy's also is kind of weird like that, because hers is, she's just a cute character. She goes, 1 and 2 and 3, yippee! And then, when she's saying the small one, she goes, 1, 1, 1, 1. I'm like, oh, please stop.
That's ridiculous.
So, but it adds more character, and I like it, but I kind of wish they had some kind of, they either recorded a few different takes, so if you're doing that, they'll say different shit. But again, it still adds more life to the character. I thought of another reaction. I thought of another interaction I thought was funny. I don't know who's voicing Shadow in this game. I don't think it's the same person who actually voiced him in Shadow Generations. If it is, I'd be surprised, because he sounds way more like a douchebag in this one. But when he was rivaling Tails is like, I know you're Sonic's equal, but I'm still gonna do my best and win this. And Shadow's just like, I have no equal. I'm going to win. I'm just like, Jesus, dude, calm down.
Fuck you.
Then he pulls out his gun.
I swear,
shoots him.
When I was playing a Shadow, I swear to God, when he got hit with something, he went son of a. He didn't say bitch. He did cut himself off, but I swear he said son of a. I just think
that's
funny.
who I was playing as.
I do like Shadow, but if I'm given the choice between Shadow and Omega, I'm picking Omega every time.
Well, I also tried playing as the crackhead, but I hated that.
No, that was the funny thing. I made that joke to Edwin because I was just like, oh yes, you can play as a Sonic cast. It's like you can play as Sonic and Tails and Knuckles and Shadow and Amy and Omega, and then the meth head down the street. It's a great lineup.
Yeah, purple crackhead demon.
Yeah. Zaz or whatever his fucking name is. I think he's from Sonic Colors.
Is he from Sonic Colors?
Yeah, I think
he's
from Sonic.
No, it's Sonic Lost Worlds.
Oh. But yeah,
everyone loves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did want to point this out, though, is that or not point this out, but state this and see if anyone agrees with me or what your input in on this is. So I was saying to Edwin, I'm like, I'm imagining the world where both this and Mario Kart World came out at the same time, and I was able to play demos for both prior to buying them. If you were going to ask me which one I had more fun with and which one I would rather buy at the time, I would pick Sonic Cross Worlds. Now I know it sounds like I've been shitting on Mario Kart World this entire time. Now, as we said, we played Mario Kart on top of it. At least in my experience, I still find Mario Kart World fun, but not as fun as I had with Cross Worlds. Not nearly. And the only reason I bought Mario Kart World is because it came bundled with the Switch 2, and it was also $80 and I could save $30 if I bought the bundle. But my point is Mario Kart World doesn't feel like it even has as much content as Cross Worlds does, because as Corey said, open world is nice, and I know I've kind of praised the open world, but at the end of the day, it's kind of a nothing burger once you get all the costumes. It's I'm not going to go around and do all the P-block shit. The game isn't worth $80, not by a long shot. Now, Sonic Cross Worlds is $70, I believe, at least on newer gen consoles. I'd much rather pay money for this. In fact, I'm probably going to pre-order it and get it day one because I'm having so much fun with it. This is why I don't play betas. I'm gonna be sad until the end of next month when it comes out. In fact, I'm probably not even able to buy it next month because I'm gonna be fucking vacationing. I guess I could buy it up there, I suppose.
We'll find it.
24th? I thought it was the 27th or something. 28th. I thought it was the very end of the month. Maybe I'm wrong. Point being, I don't think Mario Kart World is worth the $80. I feel like Mario Kart World is worth $60-ish worth of fun. Whereas this is asking $70, and I feel way more inclined to pay that price for it. And I feel like if I had the choice between one or the other, I'd pick Sonic Cross Worlds. Not because I think it's an objectively better game, because Mario Kart World still has really good visuals, the map courses are really good, the music is still really good. When the game is just being Mario Kart, like in the courses, it feels good, but it's those intermission segments that drag everything down. I feel. Whereas Sonic Crossworlds doesn't have that, and I feel like I was having more consistent fun playing Crossworlds because I wanted to play a demo of this game because obviously Sega's problem is jank. That's always been Sonic's curse, is that their games aren't as polished. But this game feels really polished. The drifting kind of is a bit wonky, and you have to get used to it. But once you get used to it, it's not really it's really good. So I feel like this, and again, I'm not saying like, oh, this is the Mario Kart killer. That's not going to happen. I hope this game does well. Obviously, the other two have done well enough for them to continue making Sonic racing games. But I just feel like I've had more fun with this than I ever did with Mario Kart World, like overall. I mean, what do you guys feel about that?
I mean,
I agree.
Yeah, I agree as well. Also, it comes out September 22nd. I
No, I
played
can buy it for like.
Yeah, I played it like back to back. I played like a few Grand Prix of Sonic and then 2 Grand Prix of Mario Kart World. And I will say, I was like, oh, I guess these aren't as similar as I initially thought. However, the big distinction between them that I could make is Crossworld is a lot more fun, but Mario Kart World is definitely a lot more challenging because I was fucking stressing out and trying to keep first place in Mario Kart World. Meanwhile, in Crossworlds, I'm just like, I was like, oh, I'm in 6th place. I can totally catch up to first, no problem. Because it's just like that's how like rubber bandish racing is in that game. But in Mario Kart World, I was like, I'm like the only way you can get 3 stars in each track is if you're first place in every single course or in every single checkpoint in Knockout Tour. And because there's so much like dead areas in the intermission between courses, it's just near impossible to catch up unless you were already first and your kart is like faster than like your rival racer in that course. So like if you're trying to get like 3 stars, like perfect the entire game, you're gonna have a very stressful time trying to do that because it's not as forgiving or easy to make up for lost placement.
Oh no, I agree because like I have finally on Mario Kart World, I finally did get the 3-star crown on all Grand Prix and all the knockout tours. So I've effectively finished the game basically. But I hated doing it because sometimes in knockout tour I just couldn't get to first no matter what I did. And I don't mean like obviously I'm not a fucking pro or anything, but it's just like I just didn't get the items I needed, and I just have to restart every single time. And one blue shell, like the reasons I won in the times that I finally got it done is because I just didn't get hit by blue shells or lightning bolts. I just got lucky.
RNG.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's just lame that way. So if as soon as I got nuked by one, I'm like, oh well, I'm fucked. It's like there's no coming back from it, you know, unless I'm fucking cracked, you know.
Yeah. But I definitely go for Crossworld over Mario Kart World because Crossworld is like more equal to Mario Kart 8, and Mario Kart 8 has 48 tracks, and then they're all individual. It's not like Mario Kart World where there's like no intermission between them.
I don't feel it's fair comparing them because remember Mario Kart 8 has like what fucking 2, 3, 4 packs of DLC adding on to that total. Like how much did it have at launch?
There's still 4 tracks per.
I'd still believe it was more, but you have to, like I said, you have to remember the grand total is probably much higher because it has fucking years of DLC behind it.
Well, I mean, saying like now is like I have Mario Kart 8 with the DLC. Like I might as well get Crossworld and then hope that Mario Kart World has equal quality DLC in the future. But like as you said, like most people that have Mario Kart 8 bought it with the bundle because they get a game with their new console and they also save $30.
Mario Kart World, not 8, but yeah, exactly. I feel like most people did, like just because like save $30, I'll buy the bundle, you know.
Something that I would say that Mario Kart Worlds needs to do is make a DLC or something that gives you Grand Prix Classic, and then it just cuts those other things out and you get your 3 laps on like the tracks and just kind of, you know, it's weird to say like do the thing you were doing. I know you wanted to try this and now it's there, but give me the other thing that I liked about all previous versions of this. That being said, I agree. I would probably buy Sonic over this, and that's saying a lot because I don't typically buy Sonic games. I've just started kind of going back to Sonic because I never had Segas and stuff as a kid, and I guess the only Sonic game that I enjoyed playing, which if you go back to that episode, Sonic Adventure 2,
So much fun.
I do not like that game that much, but it was still a fun Sonic game to me, nostalgically, I guess. And seeing this Sonic game, like Edwin was saying, like I wouldn't be in first, but I didn't give a shit. Like I was still having a lot of fun. If I was in sixth place in Mario Kart, I'm like, I'm not winning this race. Like, how many laps are still left? I cannot catch up. Like, that's not going to happen.
It's like, can I have a bullet bill?
factor,
Here's a green shell.
Yeah, give me something, please. But like, yeah, Sonic is just this Sonic racing game is so much fun to play that I really can't, like, my comparison to Diddy Kong Racing. Like, I do like Diddy Kong Racing over Mario Kart 64, and you could almost say that's unfair because Mario Kart 64 came out first, and so they probably like, well, let's do that, but we can make it like a little bit better. This is the Diddy Kong Racing of these two games to me, and so I would totally pick Sonic Racing over Mario Kart World just because it's more fun. When I went back to play Mario Kart World right after, it felt like bowling with the bumpers on, I guess, or maybe the opposite. I don't know. It's like Mario Kart feels like a more tight experience to, like, mechanically, I guess, and then Sonic is just chaos. And so, but I like that part of it. Like, I want the chaos. The other part is just racing because I'm racing.
I almost think, like, because I almost feel like they're both chaos, but one is controlled and one is uncontrolled. And the controlled one I'm referring to is actually Sonic because it feels like you have more agency.
That's the joke.
Yeah, there's the go. I got the twist on you. But it's like when I say uncontrolled, it's what I say. It's like it feels like I have less agency in Mario Kart World, and I'm more beholden to the RNG of item boxes that are way few and farther in between, and a lot of the things I can do to get ahead are just like stuff. It's like, all right, wall ride and the flip boost into the boost jump over here with the mushroom over this. It's like, no. I'm not doing that. I do not care that much to become that good at the game. I want to be good enough to play through the game and just have fun with it. Because it's like, yeah, I get blasted by a bunch of stuff in Sonic, but then I can blast people right back. And then it's like in Mario Kart, it's like get hit by a million things, and it's, sorry, little Timmy, you're in last place. Here's a banana.
Yeah.
Same for me. I was very hesitant about it. I know that was like offered to me yesterday, like, if you tried the demo, I wasn't feeling like I wanted to actually give it a shot just because it's racing games. It is not Mario Kart. To me, like, it's going to be a waste of my time. But when I actually gave it a go, I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought. And if it was, for me, my opinion of it, if I was to just see it and not actually play it, I don't know if I would have picked Sonic just because of me being comfortable with the Mario Kart series. But again, it's like if it was offered to me to give it a shot and play it for a little bit, then I probably would pick it. It's just, for me, the Mario Kart series, which I understand that whole thing, which is, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. The thing for me is that it's been repetitive over so many years that I feel like it was a good thing for me to try something different because it's just the same thing over and over and over. They do add more kart levels and everything, but I just don't feel like much mechanics have changed much with the Mario Kart series. Yes, you can grind on some pulls here and there, but I actually got to try it. My father actually finally got to let me play it not too long ago. I was like, oh yay, finally I get to try it. And yeah. I was yeah. Oh yeah, I play one lap. Oh yeah, give it back. But I did the grind thing. I did thing out of it. Like, I'm glad that they added that to this. There was many counts where I was trying to grind and it wouldn't even let me. I was grinding. How the fuck did I start grinding? Okay, whatever. It just didn't feel like there was fluid enough to feel like I was getting enjoyment out of it. So now switching back to Sonic, everything that how we were talking about just being upset about in Mario Kart, you get hit by shells, you're getting hit by any item basically, and it just stops you completely, and you're basically reloading. And hopefully, you're able to get up and go without getting hit again. Because if you don't, you're gonna repeat the same waiting process, and by then they're miles away, and you can never catch up. So with the other way being in Sonic, you're always moving. Everything is constantly going. There's lots of speed boosts everywhere. You're always keeping up with the pack, and you don't feel left behind, which is great because you're always feeling like you're still in the race. You're still in it to win, and it keeps everybody motivated to keep playing rather than everybody's discouraged. They're lost. They just don't give a shit anymore because it just defeated the whole thing when you got hit with that first item in the first place. So, bunch of characters that I remember seeing as a kid, and then some new ones, of course, that kind of brought me up, and that there is a pretty good set of roster of people. I do like the carts that you can customize. That was something I was kind of lost at when they took that away in World. But that you could have all those different things that could basically make it your cart rather than it's just one that's available to you. And simplicity is great too. But I did enjoy that a lot with the previous games that I've played in the past. So this being allotted to me is always good. The color schemes and the designs and the levels I feel are a lot more in Sonic than I do in Mario Kart. They do obviously add their Mario Kart World theme to it, but I've just seen so much of it, and it's been consistently just the same thing. I've been jaded with no sort of like enthusiasm whatsoever with Mario Kart, to where now I'm in this new world, and
Just
there's
fucking
open
mushrooms. Fucking
yeah, it's basically all it is. Yeah, it's the same shit. And then the characters that they had too. Let's talk about that too. There's a cow. There's some other shit that can't even touch the handlebars of a bike or whatever. The roster that they had for the characters in Mario Kart didn't even seem like they were even trying. At least with this one, you're getting actual likable characters that are actually good ones that everybody can enjoy. So for that to be a part of that is a really big hitter for me. And I never got to try the multiplayer thing, but they're saying it sounds like a lot of fun. And I feel like I would get a lot more fun out of this than I would with Mario Kart. There was a lot of things in that Mario Kart World verse that they could have added that could have made it a lot more fun, but they chose not to do it. And that just seemed like to me where it was just an easy grab to get some extra cash, but not really put it towards the players that really want to have a good game, charging it that much. This one, I feel like they're actually giving a lot more than what I was expecting, which was a very big eye opener for me. I didn't think I was going to like it, to be honest. I thought I was going to hate the game. I was going to give it a shot, put it down, and be like, yeah, I played it, and quite frankly, I hated the damn thing. But it's definitely different. It's not the same thing at all, and it's really easy to play. It's a lot of fun. And I do think that this would be a game for me. Now, for anybody out there, not sure, but if you are kind of tired of seeing the same thing over and over again for the thing, it might be a good chance for you to try something different and give this a shot. You might enjoy it.
Now, I will give Mario Kart this because I just thought of this and I don't know the answer to it. Does Cross Worlds have split screen? Does anyone know? Does anyone want to look that up right quick? Because that's actually kind of a big plus of Mario. Because I know Mario Kart World still has split screen multiplayer. I do not know if Cross Worlds has split screen racing. Well, someone looks that up. I think you hit the nail on the head in how you described it, Jordan. Because if I was going to blindly pick two of these, it's like, which one would you rather have, Mario Kart World or Sonic Racing Cross Worlds? And I wasn't allowed to like play a demo of them. I'd pick Mario Kart because it's like, oh, that's the safe option, And that's why I was really glad that there was an open beta for this, because I was like, oh, because I really want, because I had my eye on it, because I was like, oh, that looks kind of interesting, and I'm like, I hope I can play it because Sega has some jank to it. Because like, in this case, the beta has sold me. I'm like, yep, that's a buy. I'm gonna get this game. I'm totally gonna buy this. And it was like, oh, and it's kind of like you said. It's like I didn't expect to hate it, but I expect to be like, oh, it's a little janky here and there. But I played. I'm like, oh no, wow, they really brought their A game with this. This is really nice. This is a pleasant surprise.
It has a split screen up to 4 players.
Well, there you go then. Cross Worlds is still keeping up with that then, because I was just thinking about that. Like, it comes out at the end of next month. It'd be nice to hang out when I'm up there and we can all sit around and play Sonic Cross Worlds instead of fucking Mario Kart. But yeah.
Also, they have 56 characters, including the paid, the post-launch, and then the pre-order bonus. So 56 total.
Damn.
For Sonic?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
They still have more quality. Here's the thing, though. I did see this confirmed, which is kind of shitty. Maybe they'll put it in the update. But the DLC characters won't have voice lines. Like they'll say stuff when they're driving. But as we were just praising earlier about the Rivals mechanic, where they have voice lines for each other and they say voice lines when you pass them and stuff. Apparently, the DLC characters will not have those. Like, they'll still make noises and stuff when they're doing tricks and whatnot, but as far as, like, the Rivals interactions, voice lines and stuff, apparently they will not have those, which kind of sucks, not gonna lie. But, yeah, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, that does kind of suck.
It makes sense for Pac-Man and the Ghost and then the Minecraft characters, but that's gonna be weird for SpongeBob and Patrick.
Well, yeah, it's weird for the characters who would speak. Like, Joker doesn't speak, so he's fine with it. Yeah, SpongeBob and Patrick obviously talk. Miku is a fucking singer, so obviously she can speak. And then the fucking, I even find it funny, fucking Yakuza guy being like, holy shit, a blue hedgehog. Like, what the fuck is that?
In Japanese.
Yeah. But yeah, because I have seen like demo gameplay of Miku, and she does make she has voice lines for when she's doing tricks and stuff, and what's funny is that she even starts humming the winning tune when she crosses the finish line. So it's not that they're like silent, but they're not going to have fun interactions with the other characters, which I think is kind of a downside. And there are still kind of like dud characters, because they're one of the characters I think you can play as like the fucking random egg robot grunt from like Sonic Heroes. Like, it's like, cool. Who the fuck's gonna play as that?
That was also a thing in the original Sonic Riders. You can also play as the egg bots.
All right, well, I guess they brought it back, but I still ask the questions: who the fuck's gonna play as them?
I'd rather play as one of those robots than a fucking crab in Mario.
Well, that's what. Then I'm like, well, I say that, but then at the same time, I see people being like, "Yeah, cow, yeah, crab, and Mario Kart." It's like, okay, whatever you say, man. I'm glad you're having fun. Yeah, it's like I'm glad you're having fun. I guess.
I like the cow.
Yeah, see, Corey, I like the cow. But yeah, I think that covers basically all the bases. So unless anyone has one last thing to say about it, I think we can wrap it up for today. Going once?
Gotta go fast.
Yeah, you gotta go fast. Question mark? One last thing. I did find it funny when they first started, because obviously the first Sonic Racing was Sonic R, and they were all on foot, except for Eggman and his little fucking like Eggmobile.
On Sega CD, right? I think I have that game.
Yeah, but they were all on foot, right? So when they did transition to like this like Sonic in a car, it is initially like, what the fuck is that? Why isn't Sonic running? It's like, I think at the end of the day, especially once I learned the character more, it's not like Sonic's deep or anything, but once I got past my like, oh, Sonic's not running, this is stupid. It's just like, I feel like Sonic's just like, yeah, I want to have fun, so I'm going to give everyone else a chance and just use a car too, because if I was running, I'd smoke all their fucking asses.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so I just find it,
It's a handicap.
Yeah, it's seriously that. He's like, I want to have fun with everyone, so I'm going to be in a car. So yeah, I just find that funny, because I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Sonic would be the kind of guy. He's like, I just want to have fun with everyone. Otherwise, I just win if I was running. But anyway, so yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone. And I would say check out the demo if you haven't, but by the time this episode goes live, the demo's going to be, down. If you haven't had a chance to play it, I'm sorry, but check out some gameplay footage. Strongly consider looking, as Jordan said, if you wanted to branch out into a kart racer, that's, obviously you're not going as far as Forza or whatever, but you still want like a cartoony racing game, I highly suggest looking into this as much as you can between gameplay or trailers, whatever have you. And I hope everyone would enjoy it as much as we have. It's not going to kill Mario Kart, not by a fucking long shot, but it's fun. It's there. It's on the map. It's not a dud. So thanks for joining us, everyone. Be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed today's episode on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify and Rumble. And just remember to keep exploring, keep playing, keep listening. And this is the Mediocre Rumble Brothers, and we will see you next time.
Chaos Control.
Gotta go pre-order.
Oh my god, why wasn't that an ability? That would have been so much
Gotta go
fun.
fast.
Just freeze everybody.
And we're out.
Hey, this is Corey, and thanks for checking out Mediocre Rumble Brothers. If you liked the video, please drop a like, and if you didn't, that's fine too. If you'd like us to talk about any specific games, drop a comment below, or feel free to discuss your experience with the games that we've mentioned in the episode. You can also listen to our episodes prior to YouTube on our Spotify. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you again soon.